Last week I hit 1,000 subscribers, and thank you very much to everybody that has subscribed. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, you may notice that YouTube has started putting adverts onto them. I'm not even getting paid any money for that. Hello everybody, thank you for joining me. I have just left a delivery in Heathrow and now I'm on my way back to the yard before heading up to Crewe, so I best get cracking. Got back to the yard with my curtain cider ready to be loaded, and the container with the stuff for me hadn't arrived yet, so I've just had to wait around whilst they get the container chased up. Then the container's turned up, the stuff has been picked, sorted and loaded onto me, and I'm finally on my way to Crewe. Not due there till, I don't know actually, because I've not yet programmed the sat nav, but it's not for delivery until tomorrow morning. Realistically, I should be up in Crewe by about 6:30, 7:15, just looking at the time now. Hopefully there's a space in Crewe truck stop, and then I can just drive around the corner to the delivery site first thing in the morning. Because of all the messing around in the yard this afternoon, now that I've got up to the M42 at Birmingham, there is quite a bit of traffic. It's still flowing, but a little bit more traffic than I would ideally like. I'm just hoping with these delays that I am picking up that by the time I get up to Crewe truck stop there is space for me, because it can get quite busy in there. I don't want to have to come back out to Kiel services because I do need to have secure parking for this evening, and I can't go in and tip early because it's a booking slot that I've got, and they are quite strict on their booking slots at this place. So yeah, like I say, hopefully there is space. Made it to Crewe truck stop last night. While I was there, I get a phone call from Pete from behind to be on the wheel, asking if there's any spaces there, which there were, so he came up and had a little chat with Pete. Also set the drone up, managed to film him coming in, so go and check out his YouTube channel to see that footage. And then yeah, went to bed. Up at 6 o'clock this morning, Pete had already left. I went over the road to the delivery site, was on bay for about an hour. Now I'm making my way to my collection, which is in a place called Yulegrave. I think I'm going to be picking up bags of stone, but I'm not 100% sure. And that's for delivery down in Wimborne, which is past my yard. And I'm probably going to be delivering that tomorrow. I probably won't make it down there in time to deliver it, but we'll have to see what happens. I'm so glad that collection is now over. I was in a bagging plant, and like quarries, they've got very strict health and safety regulations on what you need to wear. So I had to wear full high-vis trousers and jacket, and had my hard hat on and all of that. And of course, strapping down the load is a little bit warm, shall we say, on a day like today. And the trousers that I've got aren't breathable trousers, meaning they don't allow you to dissipate the heat, so I got very, very hot. So left the aircon running for a bit before I've actually left. Went into the services to have my 30-minute break that I needed to have, which turned out to be a 45-minute break. Mainly because before my break started, I called the delivery site and they stopped accepting deliveries at 4:30. And before my break, my ETA was 5 o'clock anyway. So by the time I'd had my break, I wasn't going to make it down there in time to do the delivery. So Had a little bit longer on my break, took a full 45-minute break there as well, reset my drive time, working time and everything. Now I'm just making my way down the A34. Probably going to go into Rownham's tonight because, as I said earlier, I can't start too early tomorrow because I've got a delivery tomorrow night at 10 o'clock in Darlington. So yeah, starting tomorrow at 9 o'clock will give me enough working time to do that delivery once I get up there as well. So glad I didn't have to be up early this morning because last night I just couldn't get to sleep. It was so hot in this cab, it's unbelievable. Had the windows open and the sunroof, trying to get some breeze to come through, but there just wasn't any. So I think at some point today I'm going to have to stop in one of the services or the truck stops and try and buy myself a fan because, yeah, need to do something because there is going to be mornings coming up when it's going to be hot overnight, but I am actually going to have to be up very early. So yeah, a fan is required. Got to go do this delivery, as I've said, make my way back to the yard. I'm just hoping that I don't have the same issues I had on Monday where I get back and the stuff isn't loaded, because I need about 6 hours with a break to get to Darlington from our yard. Yeah, not going to be there till 10 o'clock, so I need to leave by about 3, but yeah, ideally I want to get up there a bit earlier and get myself booked in and on a bay. Just making my way now up the A34, and then I'm going to be going onto the M40, pulling into Cherwell Valley to have a shower, because I definitely need one of them today. And then it's about 4.5 hours from there up to the delivery site in Darlington. By the time I've had my break from a shower and then got up there, it's going to be about 8 o'clock, maybe 8:15. So not booked in till 10, so I'll be able to get something to eat when I stop, relax for a couple of hours, drive in, get unloaded, drive back out again. I've got a backload to pick up and I've got to come all the way down to Mansfield for that as well, take that trailer back to the yard, so I've got an easy day tomorrow. So yeah, let's go get this shower done and then get on up the road. Delivery's now done. It's about midnight and I'm finally out of there. Just pulled out of the delivery site and now I'm parked on the industrial estate. Only thing I need to do now is open the back doors so that everybody can see inside to say that it's nothing in there, and then go get myself into bed. A question I've been asked recently is, where do I prefer to spend the night when I'm out on the road? Because obviously I'd rather spend the night at home if I can, but obviously being a tramper, being out pretty much all week, I've got a few places I can choose from. Typically truck stops, service stations, industrial estates and lay-bys kind of sums up what you can stop in, and they all have their advantages. I think lay-bys, they're generally more frequent, depending on obviously the road that you're on, but they tend to get filled up quite quickly. They're often right next to the road, so trying to find one that is offset from the road so that you don't get rocked about overnight is quite difficult. There is a few that I know of, and if I am about there, I will stop earlier to park in them overnight. Service stations, obviously they've got the advantage that they are on the motorway, so you don't have to worry about diverting off to get to anywhere. So if you are running on drive time restrictions, then generally you can get to there a little bit easier. There's generally spaces you can park of an evening if you're working later, but they do get filled up, not as early as lay-bys, but quite early. It's the same thing with truck stops really, except truck stops are a bit further off the motorways, So you've got to drive out to them. They tend not to get filled up as early, depending on obviously how the motorways are doing. But yeah, disadvantage to them is, again, they get filled up. The best place really I find to park is industrial estates, because as long as you can find one that's not got double yellow lines, they tend not to be filled up. There's all the little side roads off the industrial estates that you can park in as well. Depending on obviously the business that you're delivering to, you can normally ring them and ask them if you can actually park on their loading, unloading area or in their driveway, because you're going to be delivering there in the morning or loading or whatever. So you've got that advantage as well. So I think out of all of them, the industrial estates are my preferred place to stay. But then that also does depend on what I want as well, because if it's been a long day and I want a shower, then obviously I want a truck stop or a services. If I need to get some food, then I want one of them as well. But if I've got stuff to make food on board, then industrial estate or lay-by is fine as well. It just depends on what's going on, what's happening, and where I'm going to be. Well, it's finally Friday and I have got 2 trips to Wales to do, which means I'm not going to make it home tonight, which is a good thing that I went home last night instead. Whilst I was at home, as you can tell, I've had a haircut as well. Definitely needed that. I say 2 trips to Wales. Probably run out of driving time, maybe an hour short today, so I'll be running back in on Saturday morning. As long as I'm back in the yard and then back home before the wife goes to work for 8 o'clock, then it won't be the end of the world. And as yesterday was a short day for me, I only did 10 hours, then yeah, earn the extra hours that way instead. Now, I'm not booked in till 12 o'clock, but I've left very, very early. It's currently 10 to 7. My ETA is 9 o'clock by the time I've stopped and had breakfast. Now, the reason I've left so early is because not only have we got train strikes on today, but it's Glastonbury Festival, and I've got to go past Bristol, M5, M4 junction, which is just going to be absolutely rammed with extra traffic because of train strikes, extra traffic because of Glastonbury as well, and on top of that there's going to be Friday traffic as well. So I'm hoping that I can get in and out and tipped very quickly this morning, and then it's not so much of a rush to get up to this afternoon to do this afternoon's booking slot. And then rather than contend with the traffic to get back home tonight, I will probably just be stopping early. So, just as I thought, the traffic is pretty bad. I've been back to the yard, done my trailer swap, and I've now got as far as the M5, and yes, should only take me from here about an hour to get to the delivery site, but it's saying an hour and 30 minutes, so half an hour-ish of delays, and they are only going to get worse because we are soon going to be having the rush hour traffic join this queue as well. So yes, definitely not making it home tonight. I will be stopping earlier so that I can run in early tomorrow. So a nice early start tomorrow. Probably stop by 6 o'clock, hopefully, by the time I've done my delivery, which then means I can start at 3, do a 9 off. I've still got one of them left, and then I'll be back in my yard by 5:30, home by 6, so that the wife can go to work. Stopped last night about 6:30. By the time I've been into the supermarket to get some food, because of course I only had enough food for the week, not the extra night out being the Friday night. So got some stuff last night, ate that, pretty much went to bed because I was up at 3:30 this morning. It's just gone 4 o'clock and I'm nearly out of Wales. Got another hour and 45 minutes to go before I get back to the yard, where I've then got to drop this trailer, wash the truck down, get my stuff out, and then I will be done for the week. So yeah, I should be home about 6:30. Not quite as early as I want, but as long as I'm in by, as I've said, the time my wife needs to go to work, which is about 7:45, then yeah, that'll be fine. Slept in a lay-by last night, so I've done all 4 options this week. The lay-by was quite quiet. It's not that set off the road, but it's still quite a quiet lay-by, which is why I do sleep in that one as well. So yeah, could have stayed up in the industrial estate, but still had a bit of time and wanted to go to the supermarket, and that's why I chose that one. Well, that is me done for another week. Back in the yard. I'm not going to drop this trailer because there isn't space for me to drop it, so I'm going to stay attached to it and park where I am now and come in and finish that off on Monday when there's a bit more space for me to put the trailer where it needs to go. So yeah, thank you very much for watching the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you have, please like, comment, subscribe, all of those good things, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.